Hi everybody, I'm Carmel.
I'm Mark.
And welcome to Calm as a Witch. We hope you enjoyed the last episode, which was the wedding from hell. You didn't really like that one, did you?
No, I think I've got a favourite episode, which is the Dream Sorcerer one. I think that's going to take some topping.
Yeah.
I think everything I watch now, I'm going to be comparing it to Dream Sorcerer. So,
Probably.
yeah. I feel like that was the most fun episode, even though there was some quite dark subjects in that podcast. It was the most fun one, I think, so far.
Yeah, definitely.
What's this episode called?
This episode is called The Fourth Sister. So before we get into it, I just want to say that I am pre-Halloween right now. I'm so looking forward to Halloween. I'm already wrapped in a blanket right now.
I think everybody's kind of getting ready for that season, aren't they? We're seeing pumpkin spice lattes being reintroduced. We're probably going to see pumpkin spice scented air fresheners and stuff start going into stores soon. We need scented candles. We need... It's that season where it's cinnamon, it's hot chocolates, it's coffee, it's, wrapping up warm, raining outside, or maybe snowing.
I miss my woolly junkers.
Yeah.
Do you know what I have gone and done today?
What?
I have gone and treated myself to two cute ghost tops.
Yeah. I keep seeing these really cool jumpers on TikTok shop.
This is from Shein. And Shein girly. Especially when I'm trying to lose weight, I'm not spending a fortune on clothes that I'm hoping to shrink. But yeah, I just thought I'd let you know that I'm in pre-Halloween, buying Halloween farm tickets soon to take the little one and dragging Mark along this time. Wish me luck, because he's not a outdoorsy, family day out kind of guy.
No. And the Halloween season will probably be reflected in our other podcast as well, by Karma.
Oh, ghost stories, witchy stories, yeah.
We've got a poll out at the moment. I believe the subject is listener's choice. And I think the subject that's winning at the moment is paranormal.
So, that'd be a good Halloween special.
Yeah, even possibly all throughout maybe the October month. Ghosts, ghouls, demons, possessions, spooky stuff. So got that to look forward to. If you're not already subscribed to Bad Karma, make sure you head on over to the Bad Karma Spotify page, YouTube channel, Facebook, etc. Make sure you're following us on there. We post a lot of true crime, a lot of interesting oddities on that podcast.
Yeah, so now we've spoken a little bit about what we're looking forward to at the minute. Let's actually go into why you guys are here. So this is season 1, episode 7, The Fourth Sister. We start off by seeing the outside of apartment buildings, and then we go into a room and there's a girl all dressed in black. She's very goth looking. She looks pretty cool. I want her clothes.
You know what she kind of reminds me of? I don't think it is the same actress. She in Urban Legends. The one that...
It might be the same.
I don't think it is, but she's dressed kind of the same.
I know who you're on about. It's...
She's in Urban Legends. She's messaging someone on
It's a roommate. It's Natalie's roommate. Tosh. Who played Tosh in Urban Legend? Danielle Harris. Charmed. Aviva, yeah, it is her.
It is her?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So she's been typecast.
It looks like she does play a lot of gothic things.
Yeah.
She's my kind of girl, love it. She is an excellent actress. Bow down to the goth queen. So yeah, we see a girl sat in all black clothes and she is surrounded by black candles, all lit. And she starts conjuring Callie. And Callie appears and she looks like she's this angel in the mirror.
Yes, she appears in the mirror. I think that's where you need to start off. She doesn't already appear in the room. She's like magic mirror on the wall, the face that appears in the mirror, but it's not just the face, it's the whole of her. And she does have a very...
angelic.
Yeah.
So in the mirror, it's a blue background and then she's got a white dress on. There's a white glow on her.
Yeah.
Blonde hair. And she says hello to Aviva. Aviva says to Callie, I've done everything you've asked. I've followed the Hallowell sisters. How long now? And Callie says, we need to be patient. They have a little discussion about it. Like, Aviva's basically saying, look, I've done everything. I just want to take that further step. And we have no idea what she's planning. We just know it's about the sisters because she says the Hallowells.
Yeah.
And then she says in a really more childish voice, I saw my mum today. And Callie says, oh yeah, your mum will be so proud. She'll be proud of who you're becoming. Aviva's like, you really think so? So straight away, you know that Aviva loves her mum.
Seeking approval.
She's lonely, but she's got no adult guidance. Callie then asks if Aviva is ready to get her power, tells Aviva it's a sacred power and she can only use it when Callie allows her to use it. Things feel a bit off because you're like, okay, that's a bit weird. And then Callie tells her to go to the sisters.
Yeah, the only strange thing about the start of it is, why is this thing in the mirror, asking her to tail the Halliwell sisters? That's the only strange thing about it. But I'm pretty sure, don't Callie say something about you need to join them, be with people like you? And I think she's referring to being a witch.
Yeah, so they do have a little bit of discussion about who she is.
It seems like Callie is trying to help her.
Yeah, she's trying to guide her.
Yeah, she's basically told Aviva that she is a witch. She will get her powers soon. She needs to be part of, I guess, a coven, which is the Halliwell sisters, and that she should sort of follow them with the intention of joining their family, basically.
Yeah, you'd be a part of the family.
Yeah, so on the surface level, it looks very wholesome. It looks like this supernatural being is trying to help a young upcoming witch.
Yeah.
And the witch is obviously going through some kind of loneliness because she's seeking approval from this creature in the mirror. And obviously we know that her mum is somewhere too, so she doesn't have family members.
Yeah, because she's had to go and see her mum.
Yeah.
So Aviva then leaves the room and Callie then turns orange.
Yeah.
And her background's orange flames, her eyes are pure orange. This is when we find out she's more demonic than angelic.
Yeah. She turns into this demonic, evil-looking creature after Callie has gone out the room. So that's for us, as the viewers, to
know that she's...
Yeah, to recognise that actually this isn't a wholesome mode.
It's not as wholesome as it seems.
Yeah, there's obviously some kind of evil intention behind this.
Yeah. Okay, so we then go to the manor and Piper is staring at Leo's arse.
Yeah, let's talk about this. Leo's... No, not about Leo's arse. The fact that Leo's back.
They have things for him to do now.
And his arse does have good symmetry, I will say.
He has got a nice arse.
But Leo is back.
He is back.
He's been gone for 4 episodes?
Yes, you introduced himself on the 3rd one.
Yeah. And then
I've seen him since.
No, he's been gone since then.
So 4 episodes.
Yeah. And he's back in a handyman capacity. He's looking for something. I need you to talk about that.
So Piper's staring at Leo's arse. And Leo said, I don't think anything's up here. And Phoebe walks in and says, my, Santa, how you've changed.
Oh, yeah, because he's looking up a chimney.
Because that's why Piper's looking at his arse, because Leo is bent over looking up a chimney.
Okay.
Piper explains Leo's looking for Kit the cat, and Phoebe goes, oh, Kit, 4 legs and fur, I remember. Leo then comes out of the fireplace and he says, no, she's not up there. I'll get the posters out.
Yeah, they've got a stack of missing animal posters all printed and ready to go.
Yeah, and I think Piper offers him some food and Phoebe's like, oh, think of her as your mum. I know I do.
Yeah, so already there's a bit of
tension.
Yeah. Phoebe towards Piper because
they're both crushing on Leo, and it's hilarious the way this progresses through the episode as well. It is so funny. Leo takes the posters from Piper and walks off, and Piper and Phoebe are stood really close together, and Piper goes, I saw him first.
Yeah.
And Phoebe was like, no. And she was like, was there any kind of...
I'm thinking back to episode 3 where we first see Leo. Did any of them...
Piper and Phoebe.
Oh, okay. So this is a carryover from that.
Yeah.
Okay, at least they're being consistent.
Yeah, it's a carryover. Because if you remember, Piper looks like, oh, nice. But Phoebe was the one that goes, oh, I'll show you to the attic.
Oh, yeah, I remember. Yeah, because he's there to fix the broken door, isn't he?
Yeah. The next thing we see is Leo is actually posting them around. You see Aviva in her car and she's burning the posters with her magic.
She must be a dog person.
What Callie has given her.
Yeah, Callie gave her a power.
Because we didn't know what the power was. She just said, are you ready for your power? The power is some form of fire power. So we then get the intro. What's that?
That's Charles.
Is it? You normally sound more like it.
What the fuck are you trying to say?
But you don't sound like...
Oh, no, it's Angel.
It's like, that don't sound like Charmed.
I just got a flash of Angel running down the alley at the start, and I'm like, that's not Charmed, that's Angel.
Try again. That's Coronation Street.
For some reason, there were DuckTales in my head. That's good, DuckTales.
Are you all right? So this is our intro.
Me trying to remember the name of the donkey from Shrek.
You're right, donkey.
And then the intro occurs, which I know inside and out and never mistake for anything else.
So we then go through the city as usual, and then we go to Piper, and she's in the kitchen. She's taking some food out of the oven. She's dishing it up on a plate. She then pours a glass of milk, and she takes it to Leo, who is varnishing the doors. Leo says thank you. Piper says, just don't call me mum.
Yeah.
So she's referencing back to what Phoebe said at the beginning.
Yeah.
Phoebe and Prue are coming down the stairs, and Phoebe says to Prue, you just need one hot night to get you two back on track. They're talking about Andy. And then they come over to where Piper and Leo were stood, and Phoebe is flirting with Leo shamelessly. Leo's drank some milk and he's got a milk tash, and Phoebe wipes it off and goes, got milk.
You missed the bit where Leo says he only needs to do 2 coats of varnish and then he can get going. And Phoebe says, why not 3 coats?
Yeah. Prue then tells Phoebe that she wants a word with her in the kitchen. And Prue drags Phoebe off and basically says, Piper really likes Leo.
Like, really
And
likes.
Phoebe's like, yeah, he's a nice guy. She goes, no, she really, really likes him. And she went, okay. And she's like, oh, nothing.
Cool, Phoebe.
Classic Phoebe.
Yeah, she's like, what do you mean by that?
Yeah,
and they've referenced something that they brought up in episode 1, so there's a lot of throwbacks already. And I noticed that in not the last episode, the episode before with the
demons from hell.
No, it was Dream Sorcerer. That episode, they were talking about how, Piper wanted a boyfriend that wasn't a warlock.
Yeah.
I don't know why I had it in my head years and years ago that none of the stories were kind of connected. Because
they do connect.
There is a monster of the league, but they do reference.
It's a lot like Buffy. There's a monster of the week, but there's always background stories.
Yeah. So I like that they have a bit of a discussion about this reputation that Phoebe has. And what was the guy's name that they? Roger. And Phoebe says, never laid a finger up.
Yeah, and that brings us back to Something Wicked This Way Comes episode 1.
Yeah.
And
the whole reason Prue and Phoebe were kind of like a bit
sketchy.
Yeah, it's because of a disagreement over this Roger guy.
So Phoebe basically says, we're not going back to that again. I never touched him. I've already told you I never laid a finger on him.
Yeah.
And then Prue was like, well, it's not just that. And then Phoebe's like, I'm not. And Piper comes in and goes, you're not what? And she goes, a boyfriend for you. She was like, yes, you are.
Yeah.
And she's like, Roger, by the way, who I didn't touch. Who else? And she goes, Billy. I thought she said Billy Loomis. And I was like, what? She dated Billy Loomis? Where was Sydney? Scream reference, if you haven't watched Scream. Get on that shit. Scream's the best horror ever. But she says, yeah, Billy, you was all over him at the homecoming dance. And she was like, no, I wasn't. And she was like, yes, you was. Phoebe says, I was helping him find a contact lens. And Piper says, in his mouth, you was there with your big breasts everywhere. She goes, I didn't have breasts back then. And Piper goes, Phoebe, you've always had breasts. And Phoebe looked happy about that. She was like, oh, yeah. Prue then butts in and says, look, I don't care what's going on. Sort it out. I've got a hot date tonight. The house needs to be empty. You guys are not going to be here. No demons, and especially no sisters.
Yeah.
And she goes to work. And then Piper stood there with a wooden spoon in her hand, smacking it on her hand, going, we don't struggle to get dates, do we? And she's talking to Phoebe, and Phoebe's like, no. And she goes, well, with Leo, we both like him. So a bit of healthy competition wouldn't harm anything, would it? And Phoebe's like, no, of course not. So they have now planned to have healthy competition to see who can get Leo. The next scene is at the apartment, and a woman called Aunt Jackie barges into Aviva's bedroom, and Aviva's like, this is my room.
Acting like a stroppy teenager.
Yeah. Complete stroppy teenager. You said that this is my room, and she goes, well, this is my apartment.
Fair enough.
And she's like, well, why haven't you been to see my mum? And Jackie's like, she needs to take responsibility for her own actions. And Aviva says, she's not in prison, she's in rehab, but she's poorly, she's sick, she needs support.
So is that drugs?
Yeah, it will be.
Or booze?
Or booze.
Yeah.
And Jackie goes, whatever, and storms off.
That was so funny.
She's a teenager as well.
I wasn't looking at the screen when I heard whatever, and I thought, oh, Aviva said that, and I looked up and it was the aunt storming out the room. It was like, okay, fair enough.
Fun fact, So Aunt Jackie's obviously only in this episode, but in later seasons she comes back as a regular, but not as Aunt Jackie.
Oh, okay. So they reuse that cast member.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
You'll know when you see her. We then go to Prue and Andy in a video store and can't decide what film to watch. Did you catch what films they suggested?
So Andy said Die Hard.
Yeah, and
Which is
Prue was like,
action thriller type thing.
Yeah, and Prue was like, that's not very romantic.
And as someone who works there overhears that they're having a bit of trouble deciding what video to actually get. And he says, do you want some help? They say, yeah. And he says he'll be right back.
Then Andy says to Prue, we might as well take anything because it's not like we're going to get around to watch it. And Prue goes, oh yeah, pretty cocky.
Yeah, thinking, no, you're obviously referring to the sex.
Yeah, and Andy says, well, something always comes up. And Prue says, oh, there's always a good reason. And he's like, there's never a reason. So definitely no good reason.
Yeah, and looking at it from Andy's point of view, if you look at the previous episodes where they've had like a date set up that's needed to be postponed or anything like that, all three of the sisters are very secretive about what it is that's happening.
But could it be?
Yeah, but you've got to look at it from an outside perspective.
Oh, yeah. I absolutely understand where Andy's coming from.
They just drop dates at the drop of a hat, end up in hospital, you know, so plans have to get cancelled and stuff. So from his point of view, I'd be very fucking frustrated.
I'd get frustrated as well, to be fair.
Yeah.
And Prue says, you, me, tonight, nothing, I mean nothing is going to get in the way. And they kiss. And then
they're saying nothing will come between us. And then they kiss. And then the video rental store guy comes along. Yeah. And he's like, got your film. It's
Body Heat. And they both go, we'll take it.
Is that a real film?
I don't know.
I'm going to check. Yes, it is. It's a thriller noir. And it's the same one as well because I recognise the video cover. It's got Kathleen Turner.
Oh, she's good. She is.
William Hurt. Shyster lawyer Ned Racine. William Hurt begins a passionate affair with Mattie Walcott, Kathleen Turner, wife of a wealthy Florida businessman, Richard Crenna. With the help of one of his criminal clients, bomb maker Teddy Lewis, Mickey Rourke, Ned hatches a scheme to kill Mattie's husband so that they can run away together with his money. But complications build upon double crossers, launching the hapless lawyer into a situation far more treacherous than he imagined.
I watched that.
Yeah, it's 1984.
I really want to watch that now. And then we see Aviva's conjuring Callie again. Callie's talking about how she wants to bring them together with the sisters and she thinks Aviva is now ready and tells Aviva not to disappoint her. And then Callie, from the mirror, magically opens a cupboard door and then we hear...
We know who that is.
And it's the missing kitty cat.
It's Kit.
Kit the cat. So it was Ava that catnapped Kit the cat.
Yeah.
We then go to... Piper is asking Leo if he is done for the day. And she tries to ask him to the movies. She's like, oh, I'm going to the movies. Do you want to come? And then Leo says, I can't do this. And is on about how it's not going to work. And then he says, these door frames deserve to be sanded down and varnished properly instead of just having paint on them.
Yeah.
And Piper at first looked like heartbroken. Then she's like, oh, the varnishing. Piper's like, oh, it's like when you make risotto, you use minute rice instead. And then she's like, it's a food analogy. And Leo says, oh, you like to talk about food a lot. And she's like, yeah. And then he says, what time's the movie?
Yeah.
And then the doorbell rings and it is Aviva with Kit the cat. Phoebe comes down and goes, oh, Kit. You found her. And Phoebe says to Aviva, where did you find her? And she goes, oh, I just found her. And then Pike says, oh, you're going to need feeding. And she's like, oh, no, I've already fed her. And Phoebe was like, I thought you've only just found her. And Aviva says, oh, a couple of hours ago.
Yeah.
So she's very evasive. And Leo comes in and is like, oh, the cat's been found. And Leo says, oh, I'll go and get my jacket. And Phoebe says, why? Where are you going? Oh, we're going to the movies. Phoebe goes, oh, what are you seeing at the movies? And Piper says a war film. So you know from the start that is not Phoebe's taste.
Yeah, I bet that's why Piper said it.
Phoebe goes, oh, I love war films. Can I come? And Leo goes, okay. So Phoebe basically invites herself.
Yeah.
When Piper's trying to get a date. And then Prue and Andy walk in. And Phoebe and Piper are like, oh, hi, Andy. And Prue was like, I thought everyone's supposed to be out. And they're like, oh yeah, and this girl's just come around to give us kit and we're going to the movies.
Yeah.
And Prue's like, oh, amazing, thank you. How much do you want? And she goes, oh, no, I don't want anything. We need to talk. And they're like, we've not really got anything to talk about. She goes, we do, Wicker.
All three of them are like, oh shit. Like,
They panic because Andy and Leo were there. Prue turns around and says, Andy, this is Leo. Leo, this is somebody. You go talk. And then they're like, you've got to go. You've got to leave now. And she's like, I'm not going anywhere. We need to talk. And she then moves a hand and the popcorn in Andy's hand, because he's got one of those like metal popcorn things, hasn't he?
Yeah.
And it starts expanding.
So she's cooking the popcorn in this house.
Well, she is. And then Piper freezes the scene, but Aviva doesn't freeze. And they're like, how come you're not frozen? And she's like, because I'm a witch. And she says that we need to talk about what we can all do. And Piper says, no, you need to leave. And Aviva's still spouting off. And Prue says, leave now or else. Aviva says, or else what? And heats up the VHS that Prue's holding. So Prue drops it because it's now obviously hot. And Aviva walks off. The scene unfreezes and Leo goes, where did that girl go? Prue's like panicking, going, she's just left. And the door swings shut. So she's obviously like squinting to... They can't see my facial expressions, can they? Nope. She's squinting to shut the door. So the door's banged and they've made out she's just left. So the next scene is Aviva is talking to Callie again. And she's saying, oh, they kicked me out. And Callie is saying, well, I bet it was the oldest. It was Prue. She says, Prue is the strongest. Phoebe is our weak link. She's the one that will accept you.
Yeah.
And then Callie explains that the Halliwell have strong old magic and she wants it. And as they are new to the craft, this is the only time she can get it from them because they're not experienced enough to know how to use the powers properly.
Yeah.
And she's going to get them through Aviva. This, to me, should have shown Aviva what she was really after, because she literally spelled out her whole plan that she was using her.
Well, she does ask what's in it for you, don't she? And then she basically tells her the plan, which is that she wants their powers, which makes you kind of question, well, at the end of this then, they're not going to be witches. They're going to have their powers. So unless the way Aviva's looking at it is she doesn't care if she's a witch or got powers or not, she just wants to be part of the family.
Yeah. I think it is that. I think Aviva is basically saying that she wants to be a sister.
Yeah. Although she should be questioning why somebody who's magical enough to give her powers needs more.
Yeah.
That doesn't make too much sense.
No, it doesn't. But she's also an impressionable teenager.
Yeah, and I think they do play on the sort of teenage angst and naivety a little bit in this episode.
Yeah. The next scene, Prue is in the laundry room and she's on the phone to Andy. And she's basically telling Andy, I'm unpredictable. I can't change it.
Because Andy's pissed at the dates essentially cancelled.
Yeah. And Andy says, I get it. I just want you all to myself.
Yeah, just for one evening.
So Prue says, let's try again tonight at mine, 8 o'clock. And he's like,
fine.
Good. Okay. We'll try again. And they hang up. And then Prue goes, I'd never want to see that little arsonist again. So Phoebe, Prue and Piper are then having a discussion about Aviva and saying she can't be a warlock because she didn't freeze.
Yeah.
But she could be a bad witch because they don't know if bad witches can freeze or not. They just know witches can't freeze. So a bad witch could be in the mix. And Phoebe says, oh, she's got a cool power though. And Prue says, no, we need to be careful because we don't know what she's after. Phoebe says, oh, I think we need to give her a chance. And Prue says to Phoebe, why are you so quick to defend her? And Phoebe bites back, why are you so quick to condemn her?
Yeah.
So I personally think Phoebe sees herself in Aviva.
Yeah, we'll see it later on in the episode, but there's a lot of like, I used to be just like you, or I felt like you when I was a teenager. And yeah, so I think that's right. But also, Callie has already said that Phoebe's the one that will be
the weak link.
Yeah, and there's some negative connotations there about maybe she's not strong-minded enough to recognize that actually this girl isn't our problem.
I don't think it's about her being a problem. I think it's more about Prue believes that she could be evil and that there's something wrong with that girl. Phoebe's head is like, I think she's just misunderstood. Do you know what I mean?
A kid. She says that a couple of times. Yeah.
So Prue says, until we know what she's after, we need to find out a bit more. We need stay away from her.
Yeah.
And phone then rings, Phoebe answers it, and we then go to the next scene. You need to do that every time now.
No.
So Phoebe is at the school meeting Aviva, and Aviva says, "Oh, I'm glad you came." And she was like, "Oh, I didn't know whether to, but yeah." And then Phoebe asks what time school lets out. Aviva goes, "Oh, about now," and then goes through a hole in the fence.
That's just skipping class.
Phoebe goes, "Whoa, whoa, what you doing?" And then Aviva says something that you've probably done 100 times yourself. And Phoebe was like, "Okay." Chris, she has. And then Aviva goes, "You didn't tell your bitch sister, did you?"
Yeah, that was fucking rude. Like, the way she just came out with that.
Phoebe says, "Watch your mouth. Prue had every right to do what she did."
Yeah.
And Aviva goes, "I like how you knew it was Prue and not Piper that I was talking about."
Yeah.
And then they walk off. We then go to Leo, who's walking through Quake.
Looks very out of place, doesn't they?
Yeah, he's like, "What the hell is this?"
He's like a handyman shirt with his
Got like
jacket
a
on top and
like, is it a flannel shirt? They call them in America.
yeah, and he's
We call him tartan, don't we?
yeah. How tall is he as well? He towers over everybody that's in there, doesn't
I think everyone's little though.
he? He looks really out of place there, and he's kind of looking around like, oh shit.
5'10".
Oh, it's not massive, damn.
So Brian Krause is 5'10".
Maybe he was wearing lifts or something, but he looked huge compared to everybody else that was in there.
Piper's tiny. I've seen Piper in other things and she is little. Leo's walking through Quake and Piper's like, "Oh, I'm happy you came here instead of to Phoebe at the house." And then Leo hands her some stain samples and she's like, "Oh yeah, samples."
Yeah, she was the one that said, let's meet up to Quake, you can show me the samples then.
She quickly puts the samples aside and then asks Leo if he would like some food. And Leo looks at her and she goes, "Oh, and the house, of course."
Yeah.
Oh, Leo also asks, "Oh, you own this place?" And she's like, "No, I just manage it." They're talking and Leo says, "Oh, does Phoebe work here?" And Piper says, "Phoebe? Work? No, she's probably at the gay and lesbian group right now."
We did laugh when she said that because it was so out of nowhere.
It is a part of her little competition, isn't it?
Yeah.
So funny. You probably can't get away with saying something like that now.
No. Sign of the times, though. I think this would have been like very early 2000s.
1990s. 98.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a different time.
Yeah. So the next scene, where's your noise?
What?
Your noise. Where's your noise? You can't remember what you did, can you? That'll do. Phoebe's showing Aviva around the manor. Aviva is saying how cool the place is. And then she asks about Leo. She's like, "Oh, is Leo your boyfriend?" And she's like, "No." "Is he someone that you're interested in?" And she was like, "Kind of." And she's like, "Doesn't he like you?" And Phoebe says, "Well, me and Piper's got this little competition going on about now." Phoebe's letting Aviva talk and Aviva moves on to witchcraft. And Phoebe asks how she knows about the sisters being witches. And Aviva says that a teacher told her. And she's like, "A teacher?" She goes, "Yeah." So she like teaches me about witchcraft. She's like a high priestess or something. And Phoebe says that I'd like to meet her. And she was like, "Oh, would you like to meet her now?" So they go to Phoebe's room and Aviva is looking in the mirror and she's talking about how she likes mirrors because they don't lie to you. They always reveal what is the truth when you look at them. And then she says she loves wearing black and a black lipstick because it says black as a soul. And Phoebe says that Aviva's soul's not black, that she's been too hard on herself.
You know, I really fancy right now. Hunger's just hit me. I fancy a cheese toastie.
You can make one after.
I might have a cheese sandwich, to be fair. So yeah, what you say about a soul? A soul was
black as ice.
It was willing to sacrifice.
That's why I said it. That is a song, isn't it?
Yes.
And then Aviva asks Phoebe if she would like to see her powers.
Yeah.
But then we see Prue come inside using the back door.
Yeah.
And she shouts, "Is anyone home?"
No answer.
So she goes, "There better not be." She likes talking to herself, Prue, doesn't she? She's done it like 3 times already this episode.
To be fair, I do it when I'm like cleaning up or something. Yeah.
The next thing we see is Aviva and Phoebe are sat on the floor with a plant pot in the middle. We then see a flash of Callie in the mirror.
Yeah.
Aviva says she's giving you her powers, try it. And Phoebe puts her finger on the plant and the plant grows. And she says it's the power of heat. Prue then walks into Phoebe's bedroom and
I don't like this bit.
Prue is like, what are you doing here? And straight away, Aviva is like, get out.
She's
It's her room.
Yeah, you can't tell her to do what she wants. You know, she can do whatever she
You
wants. And
treat her worse than my Aunt Jackie treats me. And Phoebe's like, whoa, Aviva, calm down.
yeah, who the fuck are you? You just got here.
And as they're arguing, the doorbell rings. So Prue runs to get the door, and it's Andy.
Oh no.
Then you see Phoebe running down saying, Prue, it's not what you think. Oh no, Andy.
Is up tonight.
And Prue is mortified and Andy looks gutted. And he says, let me guess, rain check.
Straight away, yeah.
And she's like, I'm so sorry. Something's come up. Meet me at Quake tomorrow at 1. And reluctantly, he agrees.
Bearing in mind, so he's obviously referring to a previous rain check right at the start of the episode where he's going, you know, it's finally happening.
And the
Then it gets postponed because of the scene where Leo's there and this girl brings the cat home and things set fire.
Well, it wouldn't have been postponed. It was Aviva that made it postponed.
Yes.
The sisters are going to leave with Leo.
But then it's being postponed again.
Because of the same girl.
Because of the same girl, but Andy is still giving it another chance. So
yeah, so this is chance 3.
Yeah, that we know.
Same episode.
But it has happened in previous episodes, and then obviously there'll be bits in between the reference that we don't know about, we haven't seen. But yeah, the guy has got some patience.
Aviva and Prue are arguing in the house, and then Aviva says to Prue, you'll never understand, and storms off.
Deep.
The next scene, where's my music?
What's that? That's Clarissa, isn't it?
Yeah, it's Melissa Joan Hart.
It's Clarissa Explains It All. I like how you do the tune, though. I don't know if it does that when it goes from scene to scene.
Yeah, I think it does.
I think every show has its own, like, transition.
Back in the 90s, yeah.
Yeah. You know what my favourite is? Where it's just like, man.
2.5 Men.
Yeah.
I know that one as well. Anyway, and Jackie, the person that is just below Prue on the hate list, barges into Aviva's room again. And this time, where she barges in, Aviva was actually talking to Callie.
Yeah.
But Aviva stands up and
she's like, get out!
Get out now! Get out or else!
But did you notice what happened here?
Callie points to the fire as Aviva is pointing to the fire. The candle flames and Jackie catches on fire.
Yeah.
And she's trying to put herself out on the walls because that's how you put yourself out.
Stop, drop, and roll.
Stop, drop, and roll down the stairs.
Stop, flop, and roll. Stop, flop, and fly. She flies down them stairs.
She did. She rolled down the stairs.
The fire went out, though.
It did.
That was lucky.
But this is where you actually see that Aviva does love her auntie.
Yeah, she's really concerned.
She's really upset. The next scene, we see an ambulance and Aviva storms into her bedroom and she says to Callie that she can't do this anymore. And she's just hurt her Aunt Jackie because she doesn't realise Callie was the one that did it.
Yeah.
And that she can't do this anymore, that it's too hard. And Callie says, it's just your powers are growing. And she was like, no, I don't want to do this anymore. People are getting hurt.
Yeah.
I don't want to be a witch anymore. And Callie says, you need to go back to the Hallowells. You need to take Prue's place in the power of 3. You wanted a family, now you've got one.
Yeah. So now we see that actually it's not just a case of joining a family, it's replacing someone in that family.
In a way, she's trying to tell Aviva to kill Prue.
Still doesn't make sense, though, because Callie has said she wants the witch's power, which obviously would mean that...
So to us, we know that the power's gone once...
So the power of 3 doesn't matter.
It won't exist.
Yeah.
The power of 3 does matter. She wants the power or she wants to kill the power. But if she kills the power of 3, she will still get Phoebe and Piper's power and still become powerful. But killing Prue would dilute the power of 3.
Yeah.
And the next scene. Green Hill.
That's it!
Anyway, so next scene, Aviva is at the manor and she's telling Phoebe and Prue that she's got nowhere else to go. She's got no one to turn to.
After what happened last time, I'd be like, fuck no, bye. You could become property of the state. We'll call the police for you. That's it.
Piper comes in. She's just got off her phone to the hospital and she says that her Aunt Jackie has a broken collarbone and a sprained ankle.
Yeah.
So pretty serious, nasty fall. Phoebe takes up Aviva and says, look, she's got nowhere else to go. Piper says she can't stay alone, she's too young. And Phoebe says she can stay in my room.
Yeah.
And Prue says, okay, but no magic. And Aviva agrees. The next scene is in the middle of the night, and Callie tells Aviva it's time. Aviva gets out of bed, creeps out of Phoebe's room, creeps down the hall, opens the door to Prue's bedroom.
So she was going to go kill her.
Puts her hand up, and just before she does anything, Piper catches her and she says, what are you doing? And Aviva says, I'm looking for the bathroom. And she goes, oh, it's down the hall. And she's like, oh, okay. And
Piper suspects something, though, because she checks up
Phoebe,
Prue.
yeah, so Aviva shuts the door. Piper opens the door and checks on Prue and sees that Prue's fast asleep. In the morning, Prue tells Phoebe she's going to see Aviva's aunt in hospital. And Leo nearly bumps into Aviva. They have a quick like, oh, I'm sorry. Aviva walks through and she repeats the message to Aviva that she's going to see her aunt.
Yeah.
We then go to the hospital. Prue sat next to Aunt Jackie, who's in a hospital bed. Aunt Jackie says, how do you know her? And Prue says, oh, she brought us our cat back. And Aunt Jackie says, oh, that explains what she was keeping in the cupboard.
Yeah.
And Prue was like, what? And she goes, yeah, she wouldn't let me near that cupboard for days.
For days. She said she'd only had it for a couple of hours.
Well, we knew that wasn't true.
We know that, but now...
Prue now knows that.
Yeah.
And she's saying, oh, do you know how this happens? And she says that there's something weird about Aviva. Something's not quite right. And Prue says, well, she can't be that bad. She's a teenage girl. And she says, well, Aviva's always been strange, that she thinks that she's into magic, voodoo dolls. She's never had any friends and she's got to be into black magic. And Prue says, why do you think she's into black magic? And Jackie explains that she hears a chanting and sometimes she swears she can hear someone talking back.
Yeah.
Then Prue asks if she can stop by Aunt Jackie's apartment so she can pick some stuff up for Aviva, and Aunt Jackie says yes.
Very trusting woman, isn't she? I wouldn't let someone I've never met before into my house with nobody there.
The next scene, Piper is telling Andy, who is at Quake, that she can't get a hold of Prue. And she goes, and he goes, let me guess, it's an emergency.
Yeah.
And she says, yeah, but he says, before Piper does, a perfectly good explanation.
He's done this dance before.
And then says, wanna bet, and walks off. He is angry and frustrated, but he looks heartbroken at the same time.
He also doesn't get very angry at this point because it's not Piper's fault.
Yeah, he doesn't get angry, he looks angry and upset.
Well, he's been stood up.
For the third time.
Third time this episode.
Yeah. The next scene. Family Guy?
Yeah. I thought it was American Dad.
That sounded like Pete Griffin.
Yeah.
Prue is in Aviva's room and she looks into the cupboard and there's evidence of a cat living there for a bit. And then she spots Aviva's diary poking out from under the bed. And she does the naughty thing, which she'd never do, which is look in a teenage girl's diary. Don't ever do that. Dear diary, all I want is to belong, to not feel alone all the time. Being a witch, having Callie's power, will finally give me the sisters I wanted. Callie says we are close to taking over the Hallowell Coven. I hate lying to them.
It's a good job that she wrote that, though, because otherwise Prue wouldn't have any idea what's actually going off, and this girl would still be seen as kind of the villain.
Yeah. After finding the diary, Prue calls Phoebe and tells her that she needs to call Piper and get her home, and she'll be home soon and not to let Aviva out of her sight.
Yeah.
And then straight after the telephone call, Aviva says to Phoebe that she wants to go and lay down because she's not feeling too great. And Phoebe was like, okay. When Aviva goes upstairs to lay down, she goes into Phoebe's room, gets her stuff, and then goes into Prue's room. So the next scene is we go to the manor and Leo tells Phoebe he's finished. So she says, for how long? And goes, oh, just for the day. I'll be back tomorrow. And then he says, are you in Aviva? Are you Piper said what? Leo says, I need to go and get some water. And then Phoebe follows him and says, Piper said what?
He says it doesn't matter.
And Phoebe goes, whatever she says, take it with a grain of salt. It'll be her meds. They make her say strange things, but don't worry, her shrink's on it. So Phoebe's now making out that Piper's crazy. But straight after she says this, Phoebe then picks up Aviva's jacket and has a vision that Aviva is trying to kill Prue. Leo then says, Prue's home. And Phoebe was like, oh no, Aviva. So Phoebe then runs upstairs and goes into Prue's room and she's hit with a fireball on her arm. And Aviva says, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And runs away. The next scene.
That's Batman, the classic Batman from the 60s.
Never watched that. Leo is trying to sort Phoebe's arm out and is like, oh, how did you do this? And she was like, oh, Aviva had some candles lit. I got too close. And then she ran off. They then say, oh, it's all right, Leo. We've got it from here. You can go. Once Leo leaves, Phoebe explains the premonition and says, you was right, Prue. She is evil. And Prue says she's not evil, but she's being controlled by evil. And I think I know who. Come on, let's go.
Yeah.
Next scene, Aviva is in her room packing her stuff. And Callie comes into the mirror and asks her what she's doing. And she says, I don't want to be a witch anymore. I can't do this. All I do is hurt people. I hurt Aunt Jackie. I hurt Phoebe. I don't want to hurt anybody else. I'm leaving. And Callie says, what, before saying goodbye? And she's like, oh, well. And she goes, come closer. Come closer.
Come closer.
She didn't actually say that, but that was quite cool. That hurt. As soon as Aviva goes to the mirror, Callie possesses her.
Yeah.
Back at the manor, the sisters are in the attic and they are looking through the Book of Shadows. And while they're looking, Prue explains that Callie has been using Aviva and they find her in the Book of Shadows and it basically says she's a mirror demon that she like live in a mirror realm.
Yeah.
She was locked in the mirror centuries ago.
Yeah.
And that's the only way she can use her powers. The only way to get rid of her is to shatter her reflection. And then Aviva comes in.
Aviva.
Hello, Phoebe. How's the arm?
You're not Aviva.
You're not kidding.
Phoebe, help me!
Never mind.
Callie in Aviva's body is trying to throw fireballs, trying to hurt the sisters. And Phoebe goes, that's it, Piper frees her. And Piper says, but Aviva doesn't freeze. And she goes, yeah, but Callie will. And Callie goes, no, don't. Frozen in time.
And that separates them, doesn't it?
Yeah, so that separates them from the body because Aviva can't freeze, so she collapses. And then Phoebe tells Prue to get her into the mirror. So Piper? Prue.
Random people.
Prue throws Callie into the mirror and then Phoebe smashes the mirror. Really bad CGI.
Yeah.
3D CGI. The next scene, Aviva is wearing a red dress. Still dark, but a red dress. She hasn't got a gothic makeup on and she's talking to Phoebe and she says, I'm never going to look at mirrors the same way. And she's like, oh, thanks for the dress. And Phoebe says, it's okay, it's Prue's dress. And then Aviva says, I just have to go back to being the weird one that nobody talks to. And Phoebe says, there's nothing wrong with that. I was the weird one. Like, we would definitely have hung out at school. So they are so much alike. Phoebe is a rebellion and so is Aviva. So Phoebe gives her a little bit of a pep talk, which she's getting quite good at. She does it every episode at the minute.
Yeah.
She says, don't forget, I've got your mom and your aunt's coming home tomorrow. So you're going to have your family back. And she's like, yeah, but just remember, don't tell anyone about our secret. Don't tell anyone about our powers. And she goes, no, I won't tell anyone. The next scene, Prue's standing outside Andy's house.
Oh, yeah.
And Prue's trying to talk to Andy, trying to explain. And he turns around and he says, how come I'm always the one left standing looking like a jerk? And she's like, Andy, I'm sorry. He says, damn it, Prue, I still love you. You don't have to tell me everything. That's your prerogative. But it feels like it's one-sided.
Yeah.
And she says, I'm sorry, but I don't think I can share this with anyone. And he says, for your sake, I hope that's not true. And Prue says, you saying you don't want to see me anymore? And Andy says, I don't know what I want. And Andy's really sad and frustrated. And Prue looks so heartbroken. The end of the episode.
This is the first episode that's a not good ending. Like a sad ending, which, to be honest, like, I completely get where Andy's coming from.
I get where he's coming from. And this is the thing. If you keep in a secret that big in a relationship, it's not going to work.
Well, he does say he knows that there's some kind of secret.
Yeah.
And it hurts him that they won't tell him, that Prue won't share that with him.
Like she doesn't trust him enough, yeah.
Yeah, because they were like childhood
Sweethearts,
weren't
yeah.
they? So you,
But she didn't have that secret when she was
no, she
a
didn't.
teenager.
But you know him at this point. I think that's what he's trying to say. So you would be willing to share anything.
And the thing is, on Prue's point, she doesn't know how he's going to react. As a viewer, we see him deal with the supernatural and take it in his stride. He's the one thinking outside the box about supernatural.
Yeah, he's not like Morris.
But he never does that in front of Prue. So Prue doesn't see this. And she doesn't see that he is open-minded because they've never had that conversation.
Yeah.
I think if they had the conversation and Andy brought it up about a case, I think it might be a bit different.
Yeah.
What did you think of the episode?
My favourite's still Dream Sorcerer. I think they did a few interesting things. I'm glad we saw a lot more of Leo.
Yeah, I love Leo.
Because he just disappeared, and I was kind of like, well, when I know he's in future episodes, so when does he come back? The little bits of banter between Phoebe and Piper was funny. Coming up with reasons why you should pick me and not her.
Yeah, it's hilarious. So she's a lesbian. She's psychotic.
Yeah. Actually, it's really sad for Andy. Gets stood up 3 times. So, I mean, I've got some questions. So this fourth sister has now left. She's not one of the family.
Yeah, she wasn't a fourth sister. She wanted to be a part of the coven, but she wasn't.
So my question is, does she still have her powers? I'm guessing not.
She's still a witch.
Right, so she's got her powers then.
I don't think she has Callie's powers, but she will have some form of powers.
Yeah, so I wonder if we'll ever see her again.
Maybe.
In this new segment.
I was trying to think what to call it because I always try and get you to guess. But yeah, we'll call it Weekly Premonition. So Mark, in this week's Weekly Premonition, what do you think will happen?
So it's definitely not the end of Prue and Andy. I think at some point, maybe towards the end of season 1, Andy is going to have, because he did say, I don't know what I want.
Okay.
I think by the end of season 1, he's going to learn that they are witches.
Okay.
I think he's going to make his decision, which is just tell me, just be honest with me what's going on and I'll help out where I can and I'll keep you secret.
Okay.
And I think he's going to kind of come back to Prue where it matters the most, where they're going to need the police.
Okay.
Or someone with a gun. You know what I mean? I think that's what's going to happen. I also think, don't know because I've been proven wrong before, the fourth sister, I think in a future episode, they'll at the very least mention her.
Okay.
I think they'll talk about, we could reach out to her for help and then they'll decide against it for whatever reason. Either that or she will come back as part of the future plot point because it seems like a pretty big thing to just drop. There are other witches in modern day.
I like that premonition.
But also it makes you think, right? So warlocks are coming after these 3 for their powers.
Yeah.
Right? Because they're good witches and the warlocks want the powers or to stop them from being able to vanquish.
Oh, I know where you're going with this, yeah.
This fourth sister, she's going to be by herself.
But she's not a sister. She's not a part of the Hallowells, is she?
She's not. But
she's a good witch.
So if a warlock wants to take some powers quickly, you got after the one that's by herself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or possess her.
Yeah.
Because they know who she is now.
She's vulnerable and naive, isn't she? Because she's so, she just wants approval and she wants to be wanted.
Yeah, and also, I mean, this is another kind of plot hole because these 3 now know that warlocks come after your powers, if anything.
Yeah.
Wouldn't they warn her that could happen? Or say to her it's safer if you are around other people that are more experienced with their magic so you can protect yourself? I'm going to say, how is she a witch anyway? Because I thought you inherited it from parent.
There's witches like the charmed ones who have active powers, and then there's witches like, do you know,
a recessive gene or something.
No, do you know how you get witches that believe in magic and
they learn magic
and they learn part, a bit like Willow in Buffy.
Yeah.
So she learns the magic from the books. The difference between Willow and the other witches you'll see in here is they can't always perform magic. They just believe they can.
Yeah.
I hope you enjoyed this week's episode. The next episode, season 1, episode 8, is The Truth is Out There and It Hurts.
That sounds like it's to do with aliens.
It's good. I do actually like the next episode.
Okay, so we might have a contender for
Dream Sorcerer.
Yeah.
There's a reason why I think you'll like it, but I'm not going to spoil it. You'll just have to watch it. But yeah, I hope you tune in for that. You can find us on Spotify,
Apple Podcasts.
Amazon Music, Bad Karma Network on YouTube, Facebook, and TikTok. We haven't been posting a lot at the minute because I've been poorly and I'm now back at work after having half term off.
We will be posting.
So we are trying to get into a new routine, but I'm not gonna lie, it's knocking me out. And so just bear with us. You'll still receive our once a week on Karma's Witch and on our other podcast, Bad Karma. Squid Games is a couple of episodes behind due to technical reasons. We are trying to fix it. Just bear with us because we do have day jobs as well. That's all I can think of. Thanks for listening, guys. Take care.
Bye.